Hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ray Bradbury. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do. So, here on Let's Talk Ray Bradbury, I've been working through the collection, These Stories of Ray Bradbury, reading each story and reviewing them here on Let's Talk. Today we are up to story number 51 of 100, The Happiness Machine from 1957. I'll start off with a quick synopsis and then share some thoughts on the story at the end of the video. Synopsis. One Sunday morning, Leo Othman is in his garage among many materials, and he's setting about to create a happiness machine. He doesn't know exactly what such a machine would be, so he quizzes his wife about her happiness, and she's pretty annoyed by his questioning. Lena, she's doing her chores, and his distraction causes her to burn the bread for the first time in 20 years of marriage. But Leo goes back to the garage. He spends weeks there. He makes a racket. He loses 15 pounds, neglects his family, while she gains 10 pounds of worrying about him and what he's doing and having to deal with the children on her own. And basically, the family's falling down around Leo because of his neglect. While his quest is to create a happiness machine, the happiness of the family is being severely jeopardized. But finally the machine is done. It's 8 foot tall, it's orange, it's a big box. One night their son sneaks down to it, and then he uses it, but he comes back to his bedroom and he's crying and he's miserable, and Leo thinks that he's simply had a nightmare. The next day, we see Lena. She's dividing up all the possessions in the house. She's planning to leave and take the children with her. But Leo convinces her to try the happiness just once before she goes and see if maybe it can change her mind. So she gets in the box. She sees London. She sees Rome. She sees Paris, the Sphinx. She smells the wonderful sense of perfume. She goes dancing. She hears music, and this all causes her to cry, making her terribly upset rather than happy. Why? Why is she unhappy? She says it's awful because the machine's making her think of all the things that she'll never do, and it's all the more painful because she realized she's going to go back into the house, which has fallen down around her, and she's going to continue to do chores and things like that. But nonetheless, she decides to stay. However, the machine catches fire, burns down the garage, and Leo comes to the conclusion, looking through the big plate glass window of the house, seeing his children and his wife going about their business and looking fairly happy, that's the happiness machine. Family is the happiness machine, not this contraption of his. So, as per usual, this is Ray Bradbury being as brilliantly clever as ever. He takes a simple idea and he makes it something wonderful. Just getting into the story as I was reading, looking at the coldness of Lena towards her husband, who was an inventor, I was toying with the idea that perhaps she was a robot, perhaps she was one of his inventions. And then I was also toying with the idea that maybe this box was going to kill her, and maybe that was his intent, to kill his miserable wife in a box. But no, the truth was much more simple and much more satisfying. This is really, in my mind, a analogy for the invention of the television and television taking over the home in the 50s, no doubt, when this story was written, and just the way that we watch television and movies and reading to a lesser extent, and we see all of these wonderful things in the world, and it distracts us. We can become obsessed with it, and knowing what we're seeing on the screen but never going to experience in real life can make us miserable rather than happy, and not so rather than being entertained the way we think we're being entertained. And you have to wonder, with Bradbury, how did his wife feel when he was writing hours and hours a day, a notoriously prolific writer? Did he ever neglect his family in this way? We shall see. But I think this story is one of those cases with Bradbury where it's more relevant now than it was when it was written, because we are in a screen-obsessed world. I'm sitting in front of a computer. I'm recording to your screen right now. We spend so much time sharing so much of our lives over the screen, and by all accounts, feels like society is getting more and more miserable, especially with the advent of social media. And all this that was supposed to make us happy is causing us anxiety and pain and fear and resentment. But it also is, on the flip side, causing us, or giving us some entertainment as well, and some enlightenment, which I'm hopefully giving you a little bit of enlightenment here today. So it is a double-edged sword, this screen life. So be sure to find the discipline to bring balance to your screen life. And I think that's the message behind The Happiness Machine from 1957. So, next up, we'll be looking at Calling Mexico from 1950. That is story number 52 of 100 in this collection. I'm going to rock through this collection over the next few months and hopefully get it done sometime this year. So, thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you again soon.